I'm making this video to contain basically all of the information about Lemonade Skip and all of the different ways that I know to do it, so that it can be a point of reference if anyone needs help with anything. Also, I'm obsessed with this trick for some unknown reason, so yeah, hope this is helpful. So first of all, what exactly is Lemonade Skip? So Lemonade Skip is a super reportal. In fact, it is a clip and edge stock super reportal that allows you to skip an entire section of the map. In this case, the conversion gel intro map. Typically it can save around 30 to 40 seconds depending on how fast you are doing it. But yeah, it's also a very easy trick to learn, so I'd recommend learning it regardless of how fast you can do it. So how exactly does it work? Well, there is a scripted momentum trigger in this general location. In fact, it is on this wall. And what scripted momentum is it's a certain thing that Valve programmed into the game, which allows certain flings, such as the one from this platform to this staircase, to be more consistent to the casual player. Basically, what this trigger does is it checks to see whether the player is within a certain speed range, and if they are, it applies the scripted momentum to them. Now this isn't good for us, because it means that this trigger would fire us up into the air before we've got the right amount of velocity. So in order to properly perform this trick, you must disable the scripted momentum trigger. So to do this, we put one portal on this surface, somewhere on this surface close to the left hand side of the wall, and one portal on the floor here. Now both of these portals are touching the same trigger, and when I enter this portal and come out of this portal in quick succession, the trigger gets deactivated and it no longer checks for the player's velocity. This means that as long as the trigger remains deactivated, we no longer have to worry about it launching us out preemptively. So now that we know what exactly this trick is and how it works, I'm going to go over the most common way of doing it. So this involves putting your first blue portal at the side of this texture here, and you'll know that your blue portal is in the correct place if you get these lines that appear in the walls here, here, and here. It's a good indicator. And what that ultimately means is that this portal is partially inside this wall, and that is what we are going to be using to get stuck. So you place your orange portal on this surface, quickly go into it and come out of it again to deactivate the trigger, and continue to hold crouch while walking against this rail. You want to walk along on this rail until your position, or to be more precise, the second coordinate of your position is a low 944. So in my case I've got 944.217. It's not that precise, just as long as it's below 944.3 it should work well. So next you're going to zoom in and shoot a portal, an orange portal, with your left prong of the crosshair in this exclamation point texture. Next, you're going to look at this brown square texture, the top corner of it, and hold down A. And this will make you walk into the portal. And when I reshoot an orange portal over here, I'll get stuck. And now, when I shoot blue portals on this wall up here, every portal will increase my velocity by 200. For this trick, you're going to make sure that you have 2600 velocity. So now that I have 2600 velocity, I'm going to look down as far as I can, hold D, and then shoot another blue portal. Strafe up to the catwalk, and you'll make it up here. The next method of this trick that I'm going to talk about is the version 2 optimization. And just like normal, it starts off by putting your blue portal on this wall and your orange portal down here, entering and exiting to disable the trigger. And just like normal, walk along this bar until you're at a low 944. Now zoom in with your left prong of the crosshair on this exclamation point texture and shoot the portal. And then for this last lineup, it is a lot easier to toggle Fullbright, and I'll leave a command for that in the description. But you want to line up so that your crosshair is centered in this beam and hold W. And then when you reshoot the orange portal, you'll get stuck again like normal. Some people find this setup is a little bit more consistent, but realistically the only benefit that this setup has is that it is slightly faster. So the next method I'm going to discuss is known as the base-driven method, and it requires you to be slightly less precise with your initial blue portal shot, so some people prefer it. Basically, you shoot your blue portal on the bottom of this wall, somewhere on the left hand side. You don't actually have to be precise with it. And again, shoot the orange portal and then go in and out of it in quick succession to disable the trigger and move to a low 944. Now you shoot the blue portal at the top of this platform, and it is very lenient, so you don't have to be precise. And now when you zoom in and shoot the orange portal here, you have two options. You can either look at the corner of this square texture and hold A, or look at the corner of this L-shaped texture and hold W. And that will get you stuck. The next method I'm going to discuss is a texture-based lineup for the low 944 position that you usually would go to with the coordinates. So, again, you start as normal, placing your blue portal up there and your orange portal here. But instead of looking to the side, entering and exiting, you can actually look straight forward and enter and exit. And now, while looking as far down as you can, make your way over to this beam, and you can hold down A and S to move back slowly and line up with the center of this specific texture. This is faster for some people, as it means that you don't have to look at the coordinates. And yeah, from here you can just get stuck as normal. So the next part of this video is mainly going to be dedicated to troubleshooting, or taking some of the more common issues that people have when trying to learn this trick and explaining them, and telling you what you could do differently in order to avoid these things from happening to you in the future. So the first, and probably the most common thing that I see people talking about in the Discord when trying to learn this trick, is that they're able to get stuck perfectly normal, but they get shot out preemptively before they have shot the correct amount of portals. This is usually caused by one of two things, one being more common. So this scripted momentum trigger here, as we mentioned earlier, must be disabled in order for this trick to work. But it's not always easy to know when this trigger is disabled. You open your console and type developer1. You will continually get updates of your speed when you're standing near it in the top corner of the screen. And if I move around, you can see that the object needed to be between values change. And you'll notice that if I stand in this portal and move around, it'll keep updating me. You'll know that you have disabled the scripted momentum trigger if, when you enter and exit it, it stops giving you updates about your speed. Now, I can just get stuck. Like normal. The next problem that I see people having a lot is that they're not getting the lines when shooting this blue portal in the wall. Now this shot can be slightly counterintuitive, because if you're not getting the lines, people's instinctive reaction might be to shoot the portal closer to the wall. But in reality, most of the time it is fixed by going slightly further away from the wall, making sure that you're lining up with this texture. As you can see, I have the lines now, but if I go closer to the wall, eventually they stop showing up altogether. Another issue that I see people having a lot is that they have made sure that they have disabled the trigger, yet when they get stuck, they still get launched out preemptively. Well, this scripted momentum trigger only extends to 944.001. So as long as you stay between this wall and that coordinate after disabling it, the trigger will not become re-enabled. If, when you're lining yourself up along this beam, you accidentally go past the 944 position, you will need to deactivate the trigger again. And finally, one of the bigger problems when it comes to executing this trick is getting the bad launch. i.e., you get launched straight up and you're not able to carry your momentum up onto the catwalk. This is most frequently caused by people shooting the orange portal that they are originally stuck in too far away from them. Ideally, you want to shoot this orange portal as close to you as you possibly can without getting yourself unstuck. So now, when I get the correct amount of momentum, when I look down and hold D, I will make sure that I get the good launch as opposed to the bad one. So yeah, I think that's it. I've kind of embraced at this point that being relatively decent at Lemonadescape is probably going to be the only thing of note that I actually do with this community, so I guess why not put that knowledge to some good use. So yeah, be sure to join the Discord, which will be in the description, if you have any more questions, or just leave them in the comments, I guess. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful and it can be the last Lemonade skip tutorial that I have to make on this channel. Bye.